Hi, my name is Jacqueline Tate, and I'm sitting here with Summer, my social work teacher's grad student assistant. And my type of genre is my major is social work, and my genre is research, any type of research that you have to do. So, how would you describe research?
Um, I definitely think it's important um, for, let me see how do I word this. It's important so you can learn more about the population that you want to work with. Um, Also, the best techniques to work with them and different resources that you can access. It's also important too if you want to look at the funding side of things, because if you work for an agency where you want more funding, then you're going to have to do more research on the agency as well.
Yeah. So, why do you use this genre?
What, for research?
Yeah, because research is the whole genre.
Okay. Like me now?
Yeah. Or why would you use research when it comes down to social work? Where do research come into play?
Okay. I think it depends on the type of position that you have in social work. I think sometimes you're going to use it more than others. Like I said, definitely when you're looking at funding for not only agencies but also resources in the community, research for that is going to be huge, because nobody's going to want to give you the funding if you don't have the research to back it up with.
Yeah. What occasion causes the need for this genre? Does that come back to what you're saying with some agency might need it more than others?
Yes, and especially now, I think too, with all of the funding that has been taken away from agencies, especially smaller agencies, I think it's more important now than it has been in the past, because they are fighting for.
Yeah. So who is your audience?
Well, for this instance, I feel like it would be anybody that you are presenting the that you want the funding from, that you'd be presenting to. So whether that be larger businesses, politicians, government, things like that.
Some everybody. So where are you most comfortable with writing your genre or typing?
Like what type of?
Like, for example, I feel more comfortable with writing essays in my room.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely say essays for me, and writing down like the details of clients' lives and kind of compiling those, as opposed to like the broader research on agencies.
So are you more comfortable in like an office or home?
Probably at home.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what activities do you do to prepare to write?
I like to make an outline. That's really helpful for me. And also, when I look at resources that I want to use in my paper, I'm one of those people that wants to print them all off. I don't like to have them on my computer. I print them all off and I highlight all over them and take notes on them.
Okay.
So that's really helpful for me. I'm a very visual person. I don't like to work on the computer. So
you like everything in front of you.
Yes.
Yes, kind of makes sense. So what do you have around you when you write? Like, example, you have notes.
Yep, I have all my papers. Obviously my laptop. Any like rubrics I would have, any class material, books. So yeah, that's probably like the important things I'd have with me.
What tools do you use to complete your writing?
I like my laptop. Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about? Okay, so my laptop, notes, I use Word. I hate using like Google Doc, anything like that. I just think Word's easier. Like I said, the books, highlighter, so I can highlight out everything I need. Things like that.
So how do you want your audience to view your writing?
I don't want them to be bored, and I want them to be able to like understand it clearly and not like read something and be like totally confused. And I don't like adding extra words. Like I want to be straight to the point about things.
Yeah. Kind of easier.
Yeah.
Do you use objective language or descriptive and literary language? Is it simple or complex?
I think there's a time and a place for like complex wording and things like that. So depending on who your audience is, that could be great. But especially with us, if we're going to be working with clients, I think the easier and more. So yeah, especially with our clients, I think it's important to not use like the long, fancy words that we learn about in class, just because for them, you might not know what some of those things are, and we want them to feel comfortable.
So how do you get your writing to others?
Typically, the only writing I have done is for like professors, and also for my internship last year I did a little bit of it. So I guess just once I email it to them getting it out for me. I don't.
You don't get it out yourself.
Right.
Okay, so you pass it on to
Yes.
someone. Okay.
Yep.
Do you write your genre by yourself or with a group of people?
Typically by myself. We have had to do more group work this year than I ever have, so that's been different. But typically it's by myself. And I feel like when you're talking about clients and somebody you're writing, it makes more sense to do it by yourself, because I feel like if you have too many people working on one thing, you all have different ways of writing.
Yeah.
So it might not come as cohesive if you have 4 different people writing on one topic and putting it all together.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense because there's too many people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and last question. Who do you consult with before you start writing or while you're writing?
Definitely the professor or whoever you feel like is going to like look at your writing in the end. So if you're gonna be at an agency, like your supervisor or whoever, so they can give you feedback. Also, I think it's helpful to have somebody other than that person, whether it be like a friend or a coworker or an advisor or somebody else to look over it, that just to get different opinions, because I've learned that one person's opinion isn't going to be everybody's opinion.
Yeah. Different opinions, different ideas, and things like that. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
And that was it.
Hope that was helpful.
It was.